When I was younger, I grew up around witnessing other people make decisions, do things that I had to decide whether I wanted to be like that or not. And so my uncle died of drinking and driving. He passed away under the influence of alcohol. I've seen domestics and violence under the influence of alcohol and all these things. And I was able to learn from that and then decide for myself that I wasn't going to go down the same path, that I wasn't going to risk even trying alcohol because I didn't know how far I was going to go. I didn't know how far I was willing to push with substances. So I decided not to touch any substance at all. When I was about 13, I think, about 13 or something, and I could have been a little bit older, but whenever I started to go to parties with my friends and everything, and they asked me, Eden, what, are you gonna drink alcohol? And I go, nah, I don't think so. And then I'd get asked why and all that sort of thing. And my motives behind actually not drinking alcohol or not doing any substance was deeper than learning from others. It was also because I wanted to be different and stand out. So, but the thing is that I saw what making this decision or taking the substance where it could possibly take someone, and I've seen the possibilities, and I'm a very competitive person, so I wasn't willing to, like, okay, if I'm competitive with a lot of things, how am I gonna deal with substance? Will I compete with trying to drink as much more than anyone else? Will I try and outsmoke anyone else? Will I try and outdo anyone else when it comes to substances, when it comes to killing my health? And so I decided when I was younger that I was not going to touch alcohol, that I was not going to touch drugs. And now I'm 22 years old and I've still never ever touched a substance, consciously or willingly. No, consciously. Willingly is not the right word, because when I was like 5 years old, I did take a sip of my dad's Tui alcohol, trying to be cool, trying to fit in. But other than that, that was my decision to not do something because of the fact that I learned from others. And constantly I've kind of made decisions based off almost how other people have gone about them, and then I've been like, okay, so I know that this is what happens when someone does this. I know that this is what happens when someone does that, and I sort of just continue to do that. And it's not always the case, you know. Like I make mistakes. I'm human. I'm not perfect, but if you really can obtain the mindset of trying to learn from other people with other people as much as you can, then it can really make things. It can save you a lot of time. It can make things a bit easier when it comes to actually weighing up the options. And yeah, so in this video, I know that was a long intro, but that was a bit of a story about where I've learned to learn from others. And I'm going to explain in this video on other ways you can learn from others to be able to heighten your chance of success and lessen your chance of failure. Enjoy the video. The first way that someone can learn from others is by reading. Now, I think this is one of the most important and slept on things about reading books, is that when you are consistently reading, especially if it's the type of book you're reading, if you're reading books like self-help books or books about people or from someone's brain, because genuinely that's really what it is someone's done the research, done the effort, done the work, and they have their own perspective and whatever, and you're reading words from their brain, their thought processes, their mindsets, everything like that, and you're sort of picking at them. And that's very powerful when you start reading books consistently, and you're garnering other people's mentalities, other people's mindsets, other people's experiences, and you're learning from how they reacted to things, how they did things, what did they do when they were in situations that you've experienced. And it really gives you more wisdom. It gives you, one second. So it gives you more wisdom, as I said, gives you more wisdom, gives you more an idea, and it gives you different perspectives and mindsets and just everything. You're learning from other people's life experiences, from their own human brain. You're basically picking at someone else's brain. And when you're consistently reading different people that are successful people, then you can definitely learn a lot, and you can definitely use the skills, the mindsets, the habits, whatever, to then put it into your life and then obtain those things. The second way is with learning from your family. So learning from others can also count with obviously your upbringing, how you were brought up, learning from the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, the everything in between, and learning about everyone. There'll be someone in your family that may have done things that you don't agree with. There may be someone in your family that have done things that you really want to do. There's two different ends of the spectrum. There'll be family members that you appreciate. There'll be family members who you don't appreciate. I don't know, who knows? But at the end of the day, you can always take something from somebody, and you can always learn something from someone else's lifetime, because there'll be your family members. There'll be a lot of them that are older than you. There'll be a lot of them that have had experience the stuff that you've experienced, and then you can sort of ask them questions, or even not. You don't even have to ask them questions. Just observe. And if you are able to ask certain family members questions, then why not? Because then it's going to help you out a lot with your life. Now the third one is famous people or well-known people. Now you see it in movies. You can try and gain wisdom from movies, but that's only to a certain extent. But what I'm more meaning is how celebrities carry themselves, how they walk, how they talk, how their aura, their vibe. When there's someone famous or someone well-known walks into the room, they feel important. They feel like they're special in some way or another. And it's a form of confidence that can really rub off onto people. And I'm more meaning, so for this instance here, famous or well-known people, I'm more talking about, like, so if you are interested in a field where there's someone famous or way more successful than you in the area. So let's say, for an example, let's say you want to create a shoe business. And Jordan or Nike or any brand like that, I don't know, there's an example of a high caliber shoe brand, and you look at the person who owns the company and you do some research, you do some Wikipedia fucking thing, you see there's a book about him, you read the book, you see that there's something about this, and you start learning about someone that is on the other side of the lifetime on how they got to where they got to. And if you want to get to the point that they want to get to, then you pick at their brain, you learn what things they did, you kind of learn what routine they did in the morning, you learn about all these things, and then you try and obtain them in your life. And if it doesn't work for you, then you sort of just mold it and adapt it to how it works for you. But it's a very, very good key to be able to learn from famous people as well. Learn from well-known people, learn from people that are higher up in the area of expertise that you want to get good at, who are making more money in the area that you want to get good at, who are just better overall in the area that you want to get good at. And so you can almost mimic the blueprint they got to where they are, and you can do the same thing. Why wouldn't it work for you? If they did it this way, why wouldn't it work for you? All you have to do for it to be successful for you is that you have to be yourself. You have to 100% be uniquely yourself, because you can't be them. The difference between you and them is that they're them and you're you, and that's the thing that will always get people. People can be like, oh, I've done this, I've done that, I've eaten the same foods as them, I'm waking up at the same time as them, I've done this, and I still haven't had progress in years of work. And that's not the point. The point is that you are too focused. You need to make sure that if you are copying someone's blueprint, that you are doing it in a authentically you way. And it's kind of hard to explain, but you kind of need to have the mindset where you follow the mechanics and all that with the blueprint, but you don't lose yourself during the process. You add your own flair to it. You do it. If you have a different idea, then you do that idea instead of doing their exact plan the whole time. So that's definitely something to think about as well. That's pretty much it in this video. That's all I wanted to explain, is the fact of learning from others is very, very crucial. And if you can obtain the mindset and mentality of observing, looking around, being like, okay, I want to make this decision. How do I go about it? Look at people who have made the decision. Look at people around you who have maybe made mistakes that you know that you can avoid. And it'll really save you a lot of time, and you probably end up being way more successful than a lot of other people. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helps anybody in some way or another. I appreciate you. I do believe in you, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.